Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the live. Looks like I was muted. I hope each and every one of y'all are doing well. I'm going to wait a few minutes for y'all to get in here. But today I just plan on doing a collective reading, uh, like just a general reading that covers everyone, just to see what the energies are kind of looking like. And yeah, and also if you want to have personal questions read, you can go ahead and check the description. And today I am offering one yes or no free pendulum reading. But if you would like a personal question, go ahead and check out the description. But yeah, I was trying to show up at a later time to see if I could catch more of you. But I'll probably only be on here for about 15 or 20 minutes. So yes, get your questions answered while it's hot, while I'm available. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the general messages, and then if anybody has any personal questions, then you can go ahead and check out the description below. Okay, so we are officially in Sag season, and I'm a Sag sun, so my birthday is coming up. I'm looking forward to it. So happy birthday to all of my Sag suns out there. I hope that you all have a beautiful Sag season. You know, birthday times are really important to kind of think about, kind of thinking about that day or like that week, and like thinking about who and what you really want to incorporate in your solar return. How you want to bring in that next year. So definitely enjoy the birthdays. Definitely enjoy the birthdays. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started on this collective reading. All right, so starting off, hi there. So nice to see you. Hi, Lisa. How has this past week been going for you? I was getting into the channel messages and one of my guides said stress. I don't know, was this holiday stressful? Was it good? Was it difficult? I feel like a lot of times when I talk to people, it's just been up and down. It's either been really good or really stressful. Happy first day of December. Thank you. You too. Sag season. My birthday's coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. I might get on live on my birthday. Hopefully that can kind of help me with my solar return and like being on live more. Okay, it was okay but transformative. Love the reframe. You know, a lot of times with transformation, it can bring change. Sometimes change is uncomfortable. But sometimes, good things can come out of change. So my holiday was a little bit of stress and a lot relaxed. And then the stress came from cooking. Just like timing everything, I was like, eh. But everything was amazing. This was my first time this year making yams, and they came out amazing. Of course, I made macaroni and cheese. Ambrosia salad came out amazing, and my brown butter chocolate chip cookies. They take all day to make, but boy, were they yummy. Now I'm back. I'm back on it. I'm back to the gym, back to walking. I love that. I love that. Yes, change is uncomfortable. A lot of times with change is as uncomfortable as we resist it. Sometimes if we're, kind of letting it happen, it's not as bad, but, all change is different. All right. Do you have a yes or no question that you wanted me to answer? I am giving away one free yes or no question pendulum reading. And I can answer yours really quick, and then I'll get into the general reading. Let's see. What was I gonna? That's cool. I'll just come back up here and yeah. And then the weather got cold too. Definitely not a fan of the cold weather. Not at all. Not at all. I think like at least 70 degrees and up, I'm fine. But when it starts getting into it's 50 degrees and feels like 40, it's tough to walk in that weather. It gets pretty cold. So, but yes, go ahead and put your question in, and I will get that answered for you. All right, let's see. All right. Spirit, what messages for Lisa? Any progress with getting interviews? Yes, no, maybe so. You're welcome. All right. Okay. I mean, I'm definitely getting a yes for you. My guide showed me like wind and like, you know how like the little symbol like emails and the little paper airplane is flying in, but I saw multiple. The date that I did get was December 15th, the 15th through the 18th. So I'm thinking maybe like mid-month. I'm not sure if you feel discouraged, but like keep applying, keep plugging your resume, doing what you got to do to change and inputting the words from the actual post into your resume, because you know AI like checks your resume so you can get it to a human. But I'm definitely getting that you're gonna get they're saying some hits or some bites around mid December. And don't be discouraged about the whole narrative. I always hear that like actually, oh yeah, don't be discouraged around. I used to hear that narrative of like, what's the point of applying to jobs around October, November, December because it's the end of the quarter. But like, no, like definitely do it, because you never know. It's supply and demand. Like, yeah, the budget may open up in January, but if they have a demand for a position, then you might just get in there and get everything situated in December. So I love that. Try focusing on the outcomes you want, because where your thoughts goes, energy flows. So instead of like, when is it gonna come? Like, be expecting it. Like, be expecting it. So definitely sending you some good vibes. I hope you get the position, the money, and the benefits that you want. All right. So let's go ahead and see what general message. Yes. I always tell people apply. Okay. There are a lot of positions that you have earned your stripes, and maybe it may not be like perfectly like, okay, project manager. I've never been a project manager, but if you look at your resume and the things you do in your day to day, it might be very similar. So you're welcome. All right. It's always, kind of uncomfortable going to a new industry, but especially the city. I was hearing about the city and like people when they work for the city, I guess certain positions like the insurance and the benefits, and some people are like vetted in for insurance for like the rest of their lives. I was like, like if you were to retire, I don't know. So, anyways, another thing that may be helpful, Googling career assessments. These should really be offered. Oh my goodness, my face is so red. These should really be offered in grade school and high school. But taking a career assessment and it asks you like random questions, and it'll really tell you and narrow down like two or three either industries or positions that may be right for you that you may not have ever thought of. Like it might encourage you to go to tech and you never thought to go to tech. So definitely check out a career assessment. All right, general message. And I got the heat on, so I think that's why my face is so red. I'm cold. All right, Spirit, what messages for the collective? What do we need to know? I know I heard stress, and I did pick the card, let it go. Overcoming fears. So some of you out there may be dealing with some fears. And the thing is with fears, as a therapist, I notice like with fears, people either look away from the fear or they're like, I'm not going to pay attention to the fear. But when you don't look at the fear, when you don't give fear space, then it's going to take up more space and it's going to grow bigger and bigger. So acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. Yeah. Like, I'm feeling fearful. I'm noticing that I'm feeling fearful about this situation. And then have a affirming statement. But I know everything's going to work out in my favor. Your fear is coming up because it's saying, hey, I'm an unmet need. I need something right now, whether you need a hug, whether you need a snack, or whether you need some type of like validation. So overcome your fear. And if you do have any type of tiger's eye, that would be nice to kind of keep on your person as well. Remember your worth. Okay, Lisa, this might be for you. Remember your worth. I feel like for some of you, this could be like if you're dating and, you know, you're getting to know people, you know, it's really important to know your standards and know how you want to be loved and how you want to be treated, because people are only going to treat you how they want to treat you. Also, if you're, you know, looking for a job or a new opportunity, you know, make sure you're not shortchanging yourself. So really tapping into knowing your worth, really thinking about like if you are down and out or if you are dealing with a lot of fears or overwhelmed, one exercise that I like to do with clients is focusing on your strengths. A lot of times when I talk to people and I'll say, what are your strengths? What are you good at? Like if I were to ask a friend, like, what are some good qualities about you? A lot of people don't know. Yeah. So make sure you're focusing on your strengths. Like, you know, and as we grow and evolve, the version of you right now is going to have different strengths than the version of you in 2024 and 2023. So your strengths, if you can have like a list of things that make you amazing and make you awesome when you're not feeling too hot, you can always go back to that and kind of siphon that energy. Support is all around you. Whenever I see this card, I think about like people that struggle with asking for help. um, but I feel like in the month of December, there's definitely going to be a lot of help and a lot of assistance. So make sure you're asking for help, you know, connecting, networking, thinking about community. You know, maybe somebody knows of an opportunity that we're not aware of, and we can just be out and about or at brunch and we just throw it out there like, hey, I'm looking for a job, or hey, I'm looking for someone to, you know, start cleaning my house. And they're like, oh my gosh, like I have the perfect person for that. So make sure you throw that out there. Communication is key. All right. So with communication and the overcoming fears coming up, for some of you, communication could be one of those things that may be difficult. So if you are feeling a whole bunch of fear, if you are feeling a whole bunch of doubt, make sure you're taking time to check in with your body. Make sure you're practicing some type of regulation. You know, even little things like putting an ice pack on your neck, doing breathing exercises, 4 or 5 slow, deep breaths, tapping. Like if you notice, if you check in with your body, if you feel stressed in your shoulders or your chest area, tapping that area can really move that energy through your body. So make sure you are regulating yourself because it will be really, really helpful. But yeah, really making sure that you are looking into regulating your body. And I will get to questions as soon as I'm done with the general reading. So visualize I have a jar in my hand, you have a jar. When we wake up in the morning, or some of our jars are already has a little stress and anxiety. So as you go throughout your day, say you wake up late, it's going to be stress added into your jar. Say you spill something on your shirt, stress added into your jar. By 10 o'clock, you're like out of there. You haven't even gotten, maybe you've gotten to work and you have an email and you have a meeting. So when you're able to get in your car when you're going to work and just do a little reset your nervous system. Humming and singing activates your vagus nerve. Reset your nervous system. So you want to do these little things throughout the day so you're able to pour out some of that stress and anxiety out of your jar, because a lot of times when I talk to people, they think that coping skills are when you're already super stressed or you're already super anxious. But coping skills are more of a preventative thing. So yes, make sure you're trying to be preventative with practicing regulating your body throughout the day. It's going to kind of help balance. So instead of from 1 to 10, your anxiety being at a 10 at the end of the day, maybe it can be at like a 4. So also, like, Say you're at work and you go in the bathroom and you wash your hands. You could say something like, as I wash my hands, this water is very neutral. As I wash my hands, I'm cleansing my physical body and I'm cleansing my energetic body. So anything that got stuck to your aura or your energetic field, maybe from like a coworker down the way or whoever, you're able to wash that away. We are, you know, made up of energy, whether we can see it, but we can feel it. You can walk into a room and feel if it's warm and inviting and welcoming, but you can feel if it feels weird too, and you're just like, I don't want to get out of here. So make sure you're like tapping into not only your physical body, but your energetic body as well, because that is going to impact your beliefs, your thoughts, how you feel. I don't know if y'all have ever been around someone that's in a terrible mood, but misery loves company. Misery is contagious, just like happiness is contagious. You just gotta pick. All right, Spirit, what are the messages for the collective? Take time to breathe out. Look at that. Spirit is coming through. Coping skill right there. Take you a good old deep breath. And you want to breathe in through your nose, hold, and breathe out through your mouth. And when you breathe out, you want to breathe out longer than you inhale. And you also don't want to breathe from your chest. You want to breathe from your belly, like blowing it up like a balloon. So the things that they should have taught us in school, right? Like, all right, Spirit, what other messages? My guys just showed me someone like jumping over a fence. So I feel like somebody could be having some type of barrier or some type of challenge. And this is letting me know that you're going to overcome that. We have the High Priestess here. Spirit is saying that December is going to be really important with tapping into your intuition. But if you are dysregulated, if you are stressed out, if your nervous system is raggedy, how are you going to tap into your intuition? Because your anxiety is going to be yelling at you and stressing you out. But intuition is going to be like a whisper. So you want to make sure that you're able to listen to it if you feel calm and grounded in your body. Journaling is very helpful too as well. Some of you, it is around the holiday season. Hello, Mary. It is around the holiday season, so some of you may be dealing with some type of grief or loss or thinking about a past loved one or dealing with a breakup. Holiday time can bring up a lot of grief for different reasons. And I'm almost done with the general reading, so if you want to put your one free question, yes or no, and you can too. So yeah, so when it comes to grieving, grieving can kind of show up in your body and make you feel very uncomfortable. So if you are grieving some type of loss, make sure you're asking yourself, how can I feel more comfortable in my body right now? How can I support myself right now? Because when you are grieving, you are feeling fragile. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Sometimes with the energy of grief, it can make it feel like very foggy. But there is going to be clarity coming in with the Queen of Swords. I feel like this is going to be mid-month. It's going to be more clarity of communication, of your words. We'll also be out of like Mercury retrograde shadow. So that will be helpful as well. We have the Magician here. So Spirit is saying you have all the tools to manifest and attract in your desires. So remember, focus on what you do want and not what you don't want. If you have certain events or certain things coming up, think to yourself, what would I like to experience? Like tomorrow, what would I like to experience at work? What would I like to experience at my kid's soccer game? What would I like to experience? Because it's going to guide your thoughts to the energy of what you want to experience. All right. Spirit, what additional messages? All right. We have the Nine of Pentacles. So this is definitely an energy of independence, abundance. Some of you could be getting some type of fruitful opportunity in. Some of y'all could have two opportunities come in with the Two of Swords. And there's some good messages, good news coming in. Look at that. And the last card is the Hierophant. There's definitely some type of new beginning coming in. some type of contract, signing on the dotted line. If you're focused more on romance, you know, this could be like a leveling up in your relationship, making things official. But there is going to be some type of official thing, like signing on the dotted line. So very beautiful. For some reason, I feel like the beginning of December is going to be more so of trying to feel comfortable in your body, regulating your nervous system. And at the end, mid to the end of the December is going to be where like the good news comes in, like the clarity comes in. So I love that for Sag season. All right. Okay, so I'll be on here for a little bit longer, and I am going to, let's see, I am going to answer questions. All right, so if you want a one free yes or no question, you can go ahead and put it in. If you have more questions that you would like answered, go ahead and check the description on how to donate. Let me just get set up here really quick. Let's see. Just trying to, all right. Okay, let me see. Okay, Mary. Okay, so the pendulum is just a yes or no question. So I want to know if they did it purposely. I will put this into a yes or no question. Okay. Okay, let's see. All right, Spirit, what message is for Mary? Was this done on purpose? Yes or no? Eesh. I'm getting a yes. Ugh. I don't like giving not nice news, but my guides are showing me like I can't see them, but I can see someone's shadow like in the bush, like they're like kind of hiding, they're not in plain sight. So I do feel like maybe there's this energy of not being forthcoming. But my guys are also showing me like clouds parting with the sun. Now, I don't know if they did it intentionally or subconsciously. I think maybe they admired your ideas. Not to say that they still didn't copy, but I definitely feel like they admired it. So I can't really confirm whether it was like consciously, like they were like plotting, or if it was more of an unconscious thing, if that makes sense. Because, you know, if we are in our physical bodies feeling dysregulated or if we're feeling super stressed, then we may be running off of autopilot. We may just like make decisions and be impulsive and not really think about our actions or think about how it's impacting other people. Okay, so you start being friends with her and she says, I hate her. Well, you know, sometimes two things can be true and sometimes two things aren't true, right? Like you could have distanced yourself and stopped being friends with her, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you hate her, you know? Also, remember any type of emotion that you keep in yourself, whether it is hate or resentment or anything like that, try to find ways to like move that energy through your body. You don't want to keep that energy in your body. Yeah. And you know, some people are just seasonal in our lives, you know, whether it's season of 5 months, 10 years, 80 years, you know, but the only permanent relationship is a relationship with yourself. So, oh, I'm sorry about that, Mary. Yeah. Also, even though you have separated from your friend, you know, an ending of a friendship is grief as well. So making sure that you're like processing that grief or going for walks or finding a way to regulate your body because you don't want to get stuck with that grief, especially if you have any type of like friendship wounds or anything like that. So, yeah. It says set strong boundaries. Mary, I think this was for you. So definitely seems like you definitely set a strong boundary with cutting that contact. So You know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And sometimes people aren't gonna be happy with that, and that's okay. Everybody has their own life and gets to make choices for themselves. You're welcome. You're welcome. But this has been so nice. This has been such a nice energy exchange. I'm so excited for Miss Elisa. Definitely wishing you well with applying and getting the job that you want. And I hope that it's going to support the lifestyle that you want. A lot of times when I have clients that are looking for a job, I'll tell them, think about the lifestyle that you want to have before the job. You know, so if you want your lifestyle to be like working from home or work life balance, kind of think about those things and then the job next. Because some people will pick a job and then center their lifestyle around it, and that's a lot of times when they're not happy. So, but yeah. All right, I was just gonna be on here for about 30 minutes, so definitely wishing you all the best. If you are watching the replay, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It supports my channel. Turn on your notifications because I'm gonna try to start randomly getting on live and getting on for like 30 minutes or so. I'll do a general reading and any personal questions that are gonna be asked. So, all right. I hope that y'all have a wonderful December. And yeah, I'm gonna head out. And until next time, y'all. Bye.